So what do you want to start with?
I say Dubai. We're in Dubai. They can see as well. Atlantis. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see, but we're sitting pretty much on top of the palm. It's. Oh wait. Yeah. Can you just leave it like fake?
I'm gonna leave it. I just
Okay.
But
Oh, you showed the palm.
yeah, it's just you're showing.
All right, we'll leave this in. Even better. Yeah, we're pretty much on the palm. I'm here with Nathan. I think a lot of you guys know him already. The people watching this, they surely know who you are. Yeah, we're just gonna freeball this, give some value about social media, moving to different places, traveling, I guess.
What brought you out here to Dubai? Is it your first time?
Yeah, first time. Also, never been here before. Of course, it's my first time. And there's coming a new law in the Netherlands where you have to be paying income tax when you emigrate. Starting January 1st. I was like, no. So I basically set up my company in Dubai here now. I'm fully gonna live here as well. And then, yeah, shouldn't be needing to pay any taxes as well. So it's pretty beneficial. Was a little bit sketchy. Like I was planning on doing it in March, cash flow wise. But then I heard about the law and I was like, fuck this, I'm out. So yeah, for you, second time?
Yeah, this is like my 5th time here actually. So I've been here quite a bit, but what's funny is I actually moved here technically 2 years ago, but I haven't spent that much time here. So I got my residency, I got my corporation all set up for obvious reasons. And also there's a lot of people out here as well. So it's good to network, it's good to meet people and progress. But I think when I first moved out here, what I found was Dubai was a bit of a distraction for me. Like I was getting less work done in Dubai than I was getting done back home or even in some other places in the world. And I moved here to get more work done and to progress my business even more and, you know, save money and all of that. And I ended up coming here and spending money like crazy and going out all the time. And I just sort of sat down and I had this realization with myself. I was like, you know, do I really need to be here? Like what's the point of me being here right now if it's not supporting my growth?
Yeah.
Right. And so that's when I went back home. And, you know, mind you, the first month that I came out here, like this was 2 years ago. So I was 21. And, you know, it was like, I almost broke down because, you know, I came out here and I stayed in a very nice place and I was living like the highest end lifestyle. My mentor was out here picking me up in a Rolls Royce Cullinan, like, you know, the vibe. And I was like, wow, like this is it. Like I made it, you know, all the shit you see on Instagram Reels and TikTok, like growing up or over the past couple of years, especially in the space. And now all of a sudden I'm just like, full on living that life.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't really know how to handle it also because I was young, I was making a lot of money. I was just going out all the time. I was distracted. And so I went back home and I kind of, you know, got my priorities straight again. And I did some more traveling and I just like learned more about myself, what's important to me, you know, how to manage business with my personal life and kind of all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just started flying in, you know, every few months because you have to be here for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
If you're a resident here and if you have a corporation here and all that stuff. And so I was kind of just meeting that minimum time requirement and then I was leaving.
Yeah.
But now I came back a month ago now and, you know, I'll probably go home for the holidays and then come back and spend more time next year. But I think things are a little bit different for me, right? I've you know, got a girlfriend now. I'm a lot more grounded. I'm, you know, willing to kind of, you know, say no to a lot more stuff. Like in the beginning, it was like, yes, yes, yes to everything. Yeah. And that opened up a lot of doors and a lot of opportunity for me in my career and with traveling, moving out here in the first place. But I think at a certain point in your career, it goes from, you know, teaching yourself how to say yes to all the opportunities to having to retrain that mindset and start saying no to all the opportunities. Because if you have stuff in front of you that you need to work on, you know what you need to do to get to the next level, it's not always the wisest decision to be going out to every networking event possible or going out to as many dinners as possible. And so now I'm in a much better place to manage that. And so that's why I'm back out here and be spending more time out here moving forward, if that makes sense.
That's funny though, because of course, to say about the opportunities, you have to know which one are the opportunities that you should be going to. And then secondly, for me, it's the complete opposite. So it's my first time being here. I've been here for 3 weeks. I'm leaving in 2 days or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. And I doubled my revenue in these last 3 weeks of my company, which is kind of insane. But I also kind of was eating chicken and rice. And on the other hand of the table is my laptop. And for the last 3 weeks, I switched off between those two chairs. From like going to the gym, coming home, and then working from like 10 a.m. to like 11 or maybe even midnight. And then I was eating the chicken and rice, and I was like, damn, I have nobody here. Like, there's nobody I can go to. There's no real friends that I can talk to right now. So yes, I doubled my revenue, but at what cost? Because if I would have stayed at home, I wouldn't have doubled my revenue, but I could have spent time with my girlfriend, could have spent time with my like OG high school friend. I still love him to death. He's doing something completely different, but he's my friend. And at some point, you really think that all these networking stuff and the people you see and the people you meet through like business or online are gonna be your real close friends, but they will never ever be feeling the same as like your OG friends. So it's kind of like, do you want to make the sacrifice to scale your business and like log in for a few weeks and then see your friends every now and then? Or you just want to spend more time with your friends? To me, at the end of the day, I really want to focus on growing my business. But then too, that specific night, I think it was like 2 nights ago, I really realized that it was like, okay, I also need to be more cautious about who I want to spend my time with and how often I do it. So
Yeah, I think I had a similar realization not too long ago where it's like, I had to really think about what's most important to me. I even wrote down like a list of like, what are the most important things to me in my life? Because obviously we're young. We have a world of opportunity in front of us in the online world and all the money that we can make with online businesses and kind of all this stuff that we're already doing. And we know people that can get us to the next level. We know where we need to be. Dubai is one of those places where we're going to grow tremendously.
yeah,
But it's also like, what do you want to do with your life? Because for me, I think right now, obviously I'm chasing some pretty big goals. I want to get to, very, very high places with my business and, with online business in general. But I'm not willing to do that at the cost of spending, 12 months out of the next 5 years, head down, locked in Dubai, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right. I want to travel. I want to experience new places to live, because I think when you have the location freedom and the time freedom, the biggest mistake that you can do is not take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because look, there's millions of people. In fact, most of the world, I'd say like 95% of people in the world wish that they were in our position.
Yeah.
Meaning that they wish they could have that time freedom and location freedom, money aside, right? And so because we're not tied to a specific place or tied to a job, or we have to be somewhere, I think it's super important for us to actually use that while we're young, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to end up like everyone else where you stay in one place for your whole life, and then by the time you're 60, you have this dream of going and traveling the world. And
Yeah.
who even knows if you're going to be alive then? Who knows how your body's going to function? We're young and healthy now, and I want to make the most of that.
Yeah.
So I think finding the right balance of, periods of time where you can put your head down, come out to a place like Dubai, meet up with all your entrepreneur, your online friends, and just level up and grow together is great. But then also having that downtime to go back home, to see your OG friends, to see your family, and then even another portion of time where you can go and you can travel and you can experience new places in the world, because you never know. Like, over the past year, I've traveled to probably 25 to 30 different countries.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it's opened my eyes tremendously. Like, I've seen so many different places that I could see myself having a future in. I could see myself living there, could see myself vacationing there. And I wouldn't have known that if I didn't just sort of take the leap and start traveling. And although maybe my business revenue and how much money I make and all of that could have taken a hit from all the traveling, it's like I still gained in other aspects of my life, and I opened my eyes up to like what's possible. I learned from different cultures. I met different people, right? And so I think with Dubai, it's great. It's a great place for us to be for a portion of the year.
Yeah.
Because if you're here all the time, 24/7, yes, your business revenue might grow at the fastest rate, but also what are you sacrificing? And you're sacrificing a lot,
Yeah, I mean, what I just told to like the 3 weeks I've been here, like, bro, I was like, what the fuck am I doing it for? Like, there's nobody I can share the revenue that I doubled with right now. There was literally nobody I could text to go for dinner to like spend a little bit more money on dinner than I would use to, because I could celebrate doubling the revenue. And then it hit me like, okay, we need to find a balance between all this. And yes, it's good to put your head down sometimes and really lock in and really just focus on work, but you can never forget about the important stuff. And at the end of your life, basically, like, no amount of money is going to be crying about you dying. The only people that will actually care about it is like friends and family. And if you lose everybody along the way of scaling your business because, oh, I need to make as much money so I can create cool videos on social media and be like the cool guy, like, nobody gives a fuck about you if you don't have real close people that you can talk to about certain problems. So Yeah, I think it's easy to get lost in the whole make money online, and you see people like you, people like me online driving cool cars, doing cool stuff, traveling, but like it's not always those happy moments, you know.
Yeah.
You can get lost in the game super easily, and I think that's this was the first time I had it in like ever. So for me, it was like, okay, I don't think I should push myself even more unless I really want to. And for me, like I'm going home right now, spend the whole month with family stuff. Christmas is coming, and then probably like January, February, March, I would just log in again to spend time with friends and family, and my girlfriend during the summer as well.
Yeah. So, let's talk about the social media game because it's interesting. What we're seeing, I feel like, is the first time in history where, you have all these young people, they're having some success in business or whatever it is in life. And then they're sharing that success online on Instagram Reels, on YouTube, on TikTok. And then what's happening is there's starting to become a huge market for this kind of stuff. There's millions of people around the world who want to watch videos of young, successful people hustling, building businesses, doing well, making money, all these things. And so naturally, when you start to build an audience, and the same thing happened for you, what happened to me a few years back is like all these people in your DMs messaging you, asking you for help and support. And so I used to run a mentorship program full blown for 2 years. And we scaled that up to multiple six figures a month. We did very, very well with it. But again, like when you're in that space, you start to kind of lose yourself. And I had to take a step back from social media, as in like I, fired most of my content team, to be honest. We paused the mentorship last year. We've been doing different stuff. We've still been progressing the personal brand, but doing it a little bit differently over this past year because we were getting lost and we're getting caught up in that sauce. And you see all the people in Dubai, they're all in the exact same position. So there's guys out there on the Palm, doing $1 million a month plus with their coaching businesses, which is all fueled by their social media content.
Yeah.
And the reason why you get lost is because, look, let's say you have a business, let's say you have a brand and you're making $100,000 a month, you're doing well with it. And then you say, okay, I want to talk about this on social media or whatever you're doing. So then you start social media and you start making content, but you realize that the audience wants to see, you living in penthouses in Dubai and living in villas on the Palm, and they want to see you driving around in Lamborghinis and Ferraris all the time and, buying all this expensive stuff and just living this like ultra high lifestyle that like only the pinnacle of people in the world live.
Yeah.
And what happens is you get more clients when you come to Dubai and you show that lifestyle, but at the cost of you sacrificing all of your time or as much time as possible doing this sort of like ultra flexy stuff.
Yeah.
And if that isn't really you, which I don't know about you, but it's not me to spend all of my time on yachts or driving around in supercars and these kinds of activities, then you can run into a problem where you're spending all this money, you're having all this dopamine, all this stimulation of doing all this stuff. It's going to make you money because you're building your personal brand, but you start to lose yourself in the process. You're like, is this really me? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
This isn't genuinely who I am. And I'm showcasing all this to my audience. And so over the last year, what I did was I started to take a different approach. I'm like, I want to post content that actually resembles kind of my daily life, actually resembles the things that I'm interested in, and just be like authentically me. And although in some places we took a hit in terms of like not flexing as much, we also started to sort of grow a new style that now other people are jumping onto as well. And a lot of the content that I've pushed also on short form isn't necessarily about the flexing. Yeah, of course, there's a part where, you need money to live a good lifestyle, but a lot of it is about coming up with your OG friends, your day ones, your girlfriend by your side.
And look what it did to your profile as well. I think your profile, I'm not sure because I haven't really checked the numbers, but I think it took a major growth when you started doing and creating content that was you. For me too, I have a personal branding agency. I have people coming to me and then I hop on a call and it's like, oh, then they want to do Daniel Dallin style. Then they want to do Nathan style. Then they want to do Onua Brother style. Then they want to do whoever. They always want to be somebody and want to create someone's style. And to me, it's like you can gain so much more followers that resonate with who you are as a person if you push out content that's actually you. And then like if I'm going to be sitting here like Andrew Tate and speaking like him and pretending like I'm like Andrew Tate, it's going to either make me look funny because people can instantly tell I'm not somebody who's like Andrew Tate. And then two, it's not going to get me the right followers because I can't keep up with the personality. I'm not myself. So I think biggest thing people have as a misconception about social media is, oh, like right now, Andrew Tate is popping off. I need to be the exact same on camera, exact same suit, exact same way of speaking, exact same editing, and I will get the exact same results. But people can feel it. Like, you need to trigger an emotion within your videos. And if you can't trigger the emotion with your own story, then it's better for you to work on the story that you want to tell rather than focusing on just pushing out content because you want to push out content.
100%. Yeah. You look at Andrew Tate, like the way that he talks, his short form clips, his podcasts, like I believe that that's genuinely him. He's not putting on a mask, which is why he's able to create so much content, because it's so easy. It comes so natural because it is him, right? But all these Andrew Tate copycats, literally copying word for word what he's saying, kind of sitting and dressing the same way as him and trying to emulate everything that he does. It's like, yeah, they can do it and they might get some views, but they're never going to have the long-term growth because they can't keep up with the amount of output needed to become Andrew Tate, because they're always wearing this mask. And to wear that mask, you can only do so for a couple hours of your day max before you're drained, before you're tired, right? And you look at some other big personal brands, you got like Iman, right? I believe
there are so many Imans out there.
Exactly. I believe Iman is him. Like he dresses this old money way. He acts like this London kind of posh guy. And that's what you get on camera. That's what you get from his content. And that's why he's filming 24/7 and all the content's just coming out as him. Now you have everyone trying to copy Iman's style. You have all these guys out here buying Loro Pianas, buying the exact same clothes that he's wearing. And it's like, they can do it. They can get some views doing it. But at the end of the day, if it's not them, it's not going to work long term. And, I'm even guilty of doing this with some of my old YouTube videos and a lot of my content. I'm like looking at Iman and looking at the people at the top of the space. And I'm like, all right, I just need to replicate exactly what they're doing and I'll get views. But then, over the last year, it's like, I realized, well, I'm not this kind of London posh old money guy. And I don't even want to be that. So why am I pretending to be that for camera? I'm from Canada. And I'm going to own it. And I'm new money. I didn't come from money, right? I came from, middle-class family, and that's what I'll say online. And this is how I say I was raised. And now I'm experiencing, the top 1%, the top 0.1% of how people live. And so your unique journey is unique to you. And you can't be better than somebody else at their journey or their story or their persona. You have to be you. And the advantage to that is that nobody can do you as good as you can do you.
Yeah. And I think, what you just said really makes sense. Like, there are so many Imans out there, even on YouTube. And for me, I work with a lot of these people behind the scenes. Like, I think about the videos that we can create. And the main aspect that you want to focus on when you want to create videos, specifically short form I'm talking about now, is what is your story? How can you tell your story in your own way? And then use clips to emphasize the story. Like, a lot of the videos that I'm doing right now with clients to really push out their story is by focusing, okay, what did their childhood like and what did the come up story look like and how can we create a video that's triggering an emotion? Because as soon as you make people happy or sad or like even cried because of your videos, that's when they will interact with your video. That's when they will start sharing and liking the video. And it may sound like hard, but at the end of the day, a lot of people are posting videos for your attention to eventually convert your attention into sales. Some of these guys are doing it for fun, but even Mr. Beast. Like, Mr. Beast is not just creating videos to entertain you guys. At the end of the day, he's also being able to provide for his family or like girlfriend with the money he's making from YouTube. And for these guys online, they might sell you a mentorship or coaching, or for even like Nike, they sell you shoes. Like, at the end of the day, all these videos you see online is just to get your attention and to make money off of you. And I don't really believe there's many people out there who are doing it just for fun. But to me, like, I've started this whole company because I really like social media and creating videos. I think if you can make a perfect video or a perfect shot, it just makes me genuinely happy. But I also know that there are guys out there, or even people that I used to work with, and I would ask them, we need clips. And they're like, I don't feel like filming, or I don't want to film. I actually don't like filming. And for them, it's really just about the money that they film. And I think that's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So, when did you get started in all this? Because I know you've been in the space for a while. We touched base like a couple of years ago and then again more recently. But when did you decide, it was time to start creating your own content and build your own personal brand? And what fueled that decision? And then also, what were you doing before that?
Yeah. So I think 4 years ago, I started off as short form video editor, just dropping out of college. Didn't know what to do, but I knew I liked videos and social media. And then at some point, this army of people from Asia, I would say, came and started competing on the price. I was like, okay, I have to increase my value. Decided to do the agency model where I would just hire people and then outsource the videos. Didn't quality check the videos. My service was absolute shit. Clients would beef after the first month. I think that happened with us too. This was like 2.5 years ago or so. Like shittiest service of all. And then I was like, okay, what can I do to change this and make my service way better? So I was fine with outsourcing the videos, but I really wanted to focus on getting results, making videos go viral, because there's not many people who actually know what to do on social media and how to make videos go viral. And then the offer became way more valuable, and I also put way more time into my clients. Even though I outsourced the editing, I would still focus on, okay, what's the editing looking like? And would I post this video myself? If the answer is no, I wouldn't give it to the client. That way you keep your clients happy. And now, like, my main goal is just working with a select few brands, personal brands specifically, and then help them scale their personal brand through short form videos, also long form videos, but don't really do that much yet because I just started doing it myself. And I think
You do YouTube now and stuff?
yeah, I think the biggest thing that you can do if you want to start selling a service, you need to be doing it yourself. Like specifically for my niche right now, there's a lot of you guys out there DMing people, hey, I will get you 10 million views in the first 30 days, but you have 400 followers, you have no profile picture, no videos on your profile. And for me, that's also one of the reasons why I started posting, because how can you sell something that you're not actively doing for yourself? Like for you too, with the mentorship, you started the e-commerce mentorship when you were doing e-commerce and people wanted your help because you were doing well with e-commerce. But let's say I go out here right now and I'm going to start selling an e-com coaching. It doesn't make sense because I have no clue what to do with e-commerce.
Yeah. And it's also like, even if you do know what to do, like people want to learn from somebody who's walked that path as well. So you can have all the information and all the knowledge in the world, but like I get hundreds of DMs a day from people wanting to run my short form and wanting to do various things. And like you said, I look at their profile, it's like a ghost.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how do I know what any of you are saying is legit when you don't even do it yourself, right? And because if you're going to tell me that, oh, this short form system you have is so valuable and everybody needs to be building a personal brand using this system, why haven't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're in the space. You're going to get clients from having a personal brand. If this system is really that powerful, then why aren't you using it yourself?
Yeah.
And so I think that's a really important realization. And it's good that you have that. And I bet you that over, the past while since you've been growing your personal brand, your growth in your business has probably tremendously grown, hey?
Yeah, so first it started off with just posting lifestyle, but there were no like clear offer on my profile, no bio, no like client results. And then since I started implementing the client results and also like showing on my stories what I do for other people, that's where it's like you DM these people, you have a story on your profile that you just hit 1 million views for another client of you. And then when you DM them, they can instantly click on your story. And if they see a result that you actually got for another guy, for example, 1 million views, who doesn't want to get 1 million views? Then it's like, okay, apparently this guy actually knows how to get results. I'm going to give him the first reply. And I haven't run a single ad for my personal branding agency. And all you need to aim for is getting the first reply. And I mean, once you have the first reply, you need to have a portfolio, get them on the call. And then it's honestly pretty simple to close these people. The only sketchy part about my whole offer is, and still to this day, I can work with anybody, but results are not guaranteed because results are on like the type of person. Some of these people want to work with me, but they have no experience on camera.
Yeah.
But then I'm also straight up front, very honest, like we're not going to get the same results that I got for another client because you need to get comfortable on camera. We need to train you how to be on camera.
And it's like, you aren't him,
Yeah.
He probably has a couple years of content in his storage. He probably, filmed all this stuff. He maybe lives on the Palm.
Yeah.
He's got Rolls Royces and stuff. And another client of yours coming in as a ghost, has nothing. And he just wants to learn and get into all this stuff. It's like, how you can't expect the same results. And it's definitely like on a client per client basis. And I think, a lot of these short form agencies and guys that are DMing me all the time, they're like, oh, like, we've done like 30 million views a month for Iman and we can get you the exact same results or we can get you better. And I'm like, well, I don't care. I want to see how good your content quality is. I'll give you some of my content. You put it together because I'm not Iman. Iman has been filming for 8 years. He's been documenting his life.
Yeah.
Right. I only picked up a camera 3 years ago. And even then I started on YouTube. I was doing a lot of YouTube stuff. So the short form B-roll clips that I have really have only came from the past year. And I'm pretty happy with the growth that we've had thus far, because I think the strategy is on point that we've kind of came up with. And we'll talk a little bit about strategy as well.
Yeah.
But I think that's where a lot of people go wrong too, is that they realize that, they don't realize that the person makes all the difference, because maybe that person is worth $100 million. Maybe they have 5 different companies to talk about. Maybe they have 10 years of experience in business. Maybe they have 3 Rolls Royces and a bunch of, very, very viral stuff. Quite honestly, that's going to go viral on social media. Maybe they have the house on the palm, right? And so you don't have that. If you're just, some local guy living in some small town in the US or the Netherlands or something, like you can't expect the same results as someone like Iman or the Onuha brothers, right?
That's why I think a big change in my offer was somewhat coaching as well. So at first, when I had the shittiest agency offer ever, I was just outsourcing videos and then I would just give them to you, have fun. Now it's like with my mid-ticket offer, I have a call every single week where we talk about, okay, what's on the planning? How can we get more content? Specifically for the guys or girls who don't have much videos filmed, I really try to help them to film as much possible that I can work with. Because the more content you have, the better. And some of these guys, they come to me with a Google Drive with 20 videos and then they expect me to upload their personal brand. For reference, I don't know about you, you probably too. I think I have over 4,000 or 5,000 clips of myself.
Yeah.
And 60% is being used, 40% is unusable. And that's the amount of clips you need to actually consistently post great videos and actually scale your brand. And then of course you need to have a story but if anybody has their own story to tell. So I don't think the story is the hardest part.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I've kind of more recently dove into the short form game. Like when we talked about it a couple of years ago, I was sort of just, starting, or had some pages go viral on TikTok. But then we couldn't sustain that growth anymore. The landscape changed. So many more creators came into the space. The level of content, the quality of the content got higher and higher, and we sort of got squeezed out, right? And that's where I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to put my effort on YouTube. Long form is what I'm good at. It's what I started with. We have the results to show for it. We're doing a lot of numbers. YouTube is also very, very powerful. I'd say it's still my main focus, but over the last year, I wanted to give the short form stuff a shot, because I never really gave it a fair shot. Look, all I did with short form was all the clips on my phone, old YouTube videos. I was like, let's just use these and see what we can do, right? But now over the past few months, it's been a bit of a shift where I'm like, let me go out and let me shoot some specific content that we're going to use on short form, and it's going to do well. And so, I had to actually sit down for a day and dedicate some time towards short form. And I'm coming up with all the different kind of key points that we can touch on in my life that's unique to me. So what do I have? Well, I came from here. I grew up like this, kind of making that story and that hero's arc, which is super important. But then also, what are the different things that people want to hear, the audience wants to see as well? Okay, so, health is a big industry, wealth, business, finance, relationships.
I think too, when I saw the OG Friends video from you, or any version of that video, and any video with your girlfriend, specifically the girlfriend Lambo video, that triggered an emotion with me. I was I sent it to my own girlfriend. I was like, man, this is crazy. It made me smile while watching the video. And how many videos are actually giving you an emotion nowadays? I think you have to scroll maybe 20 videos before the first smile is coming out of actual cool content that you can watch. And I think what you did there too is extremely smart. You just went straight into the books and was like, okay, what do people care about? And how can I create content around the things that people actually care about? So
yeah, and I think the content strategy with short form for me is I'll focus on creating content that people want to watch, that they love to watch, they get inspired from, they get motivated from, they enjoy it, but they're not necessarily walking away from that short form video with a ton of value or a ton of lessons learned. We can still try to incorporate some, but the reason for this is that I'm a YouTube guy and I started on YouTube. And so for me, it's for me to get my points across properly and to educate people and give them value, I want to sit down in front of my computer. I want to have my notes. I want to talk through my experiences and share that with people over the course of a 20-minute long video. Yeah. And that video is going to be super valuable. And my YouTube channel is what's changed, thousands of people's lives. I've had people come up to me on the street saying that their life has completely changed. They've made way more money. They're in a much better position because of me. The short form for me is more for awareness. So if I can make people, as you did, watch the video of me and my girlfriend and go, wow, one day I would like to have that with my girlfriend. I would like to be, in the Lambo together, driving off into the sunset. Then that is all I want from these videos, because from there, after people watch a 10-second video, they're going to be like, oh, okay, what does this guy do? Right. Yeah. They're going to go to my page. They're going to look around, see my lifestyle, see what I have, see my results, see my success, see my relationships, things like that. And they're going to be like, okay, I kind of want to learn from this guy. I want to see like what he's all about. They'll go to my YouTube channel, and that's where their life will start to get changed. And that's my goal with the whole content system.
Yeah, I have a pretty similar thing going on right now. I even am debating on like fully stopping with the lifestyle videos because I think it attracts the wrong kind of people. But two, it's an easy attention grab. And as you said, the short form videos are basically top of the funnel. You grab people's attention. Maybe even the first video, they're not going to follow you. But then 2-3 videos in, they're like, okay, let's check out the profile. Oh, all these videos are sick. Let's follow him. And then, they see a story. You posted a YouTube video. You provide insane amounts of value within the YouTube. And then they're like, okay, this guy just solved my problem for free on YouTube. What if I pay him? What if I can buy his coaching? What if I can buy his course or mentorship? And it's like, if I got so much value for free on YouTube, how much value can I get from this guy or girl if I pay him or her? And that's like really looking at it at a big business perspective. But I think at the end of the day, that's the goal. Even people watching my YouTube that like can't even do stuff or don't even have the money to invest into certain things, like they still say, the Mykonos vlog, for example, first vlog, 12K views, crazy results for a first vlog. But people are like, the vlog is crazy. And then they also watch the valuable video that's on my YouTube. Again, I grabbed the attention with lifestyle, but then they saw the value video as well. And then they're like, I just implemented this into my own agency and it's actually working. Thank you for the free value. I think that's even way better than getting paid for any like value that you can provide.
We touched a lot on using the personal brand for selling something like a course or a mentorship or whatever. But, last year when I closed the doors to my mentorship program. I kind of, thought like, okay, I'm going to slowly phase out of social media because we also have some other businesses that are doing quite well that aren't attached to my face and aren't attached to my personal brand, which is a good position to be in if you also have a personal brand, because then, 100% of your income isn't necessarily tied to the content that you're putting out.
Yeah.
And I kind of got sick of like being a puppet and like creating the same kind of YouTube videos all the time in the industry that I was in. So I was like, let me just do away with kind of the social media stuff. I don't really care about Instagram. I don't really care about short form. And I'll just make the odd YouTube video when I feel like it that I want to create. Yeah. Because we closed the doors to the mentorship. So we're not really using it for business.
Yeah.
Therefore, what's really the point of taking this thing so big unless you want to be famous or something like that? And for me, like I don't really care about like just views and exposure. There needs to be a reason. There needs to be like a method to the madness or a point as to why I'm creating a personal brand. And so when I kind of stepped away for a little bit, it also made me realize how powerful a personal brand is in other ways, unrelated to just making money from like a mentorship or selling a course or whatever. Yeah. So I mean, number one is the network effect, right? So the personal brand, like I realized, has given me so much over the past couple of years. I mean, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation right now. I wouldn't know who you are if I didn't post, and vice versa if you didn't post. And that carried out to so many relationships in my life. Some of my great friends and mentors that I currently hang out with and work together all the time now has came from just me posting organic videos to Instagram and YouTube. And if I had never picked up a camera and never did any of this stuff in the first place, I think one, my income would have been substantially less. I still would have been successful for sure. I would have had other stuff going.
Yeah, just like,
but I wouldn't have gained nearly as many connections that then elevated me to the next level. And your network is so important. And there's no easier way to build a network than to have that network come to you from posting organically online, right? So that was reason number one. And then, secondly is there's a lot of hidden benefits with the personal brand. You're going to get referrals, you're going to get in the right rooms, you're going to get exclusive access to things. In some cases, free hotels, free
almost like a sports car.
Exactly.
It's like the perceived value goes up so much. I've also met people with insane amounts of followers where after spending time with them, I was like, okay, you're not the guy I thought you were. But to a lot of these, I'm super small following, by the way, to some people big, but I only have 10K followers on IG and about 500 subscribers. And then TikTok, I have 50K. I don't do much with TikTok though. But then still the perceived value goes up. Like when I show my TikTok to the people around, it's like, oh my God, you have 50K. For you, it's probably even crazier. You have about 300K on Instagram. It's like, okay, like what do you do? Well, how did you get all these followers? Because basically the amount of followers means that there are so many people interested in what you do that to high level people, when you show the amount of followers that you have, it's like, okay, this guy must be doing something interesting because there are so many people following him. And it's same with supercars. If you pull up in a supercar, it's always, who's this guy? Like, what does he do? And with the big personal brand, it's the exact same effect. Like, who is this guy? What is he doing?
Yeah, 100%. Like also these benefits came in other areas of my life that I didn't expect. Like for example, when I'm looking at real estate and I'm talking to all these real estate agents, they are going to be treating me better than anybody else because I have followers and I'm in this position, right? Yeah. They know that they can get exposure from me if the deal goes well. But on top of that, they are going to be providing excellent hospitality and excellent service because they want good referrals, they want good reviews. They know that my network is vast and I can connect them with a lot of people. Mind you, I can make commission, I can make money from simply connecting other people because I have that personal brand. And it's so valuable. I'm providing value to two different people, completely different people just because they follow me, and I get to make money for making that intro or making that connection. Yeah. And so when I started to go about life and realize like, wow, like, I'm only treated this way because of what I did, because I picked up the camera and filmed. And even if I had the same amount of financial success or the same amount of success in my business, at the end of the day, there's thousands of businesses out there doing the same amount of revenue as mine, if not more. But why am I getting treated as if, I'm royalty? And well, it's because I started posting, right? And so I realized I wanted a lot of those benefits to stay in my life. But I didn't want the constant pressure of having to churn out video after video to sell something. And so now what I'm doing with the personal brand is, again, I'm using short form as much as possible for awareness, and then I'm dropping as much value and providing help and advice and solutions to people on YouTube, and I can still make money from that. Right? If I teach somebody how to do something, I can refer them to somebody else. I can make an affiliate commission. So a lot of the stuff that I'm doing with my personal brand right now is affiliate. It's a win-win-win. It's a win for me because I get to provide value. I get to grow my personal brand. I get to make money in multiple different streams, as well as the affiliate commission. Yeah. A win for the person that I'm affiliating for. Their business grows, guaranteed profit for them. And then a win for the person watching because not only are they learning stuff for free from me, but now they're getting a solution. If they want to go and buy real estate, I can connect them. Yeah. If they want to go and, who knows, get a yacht chartered or a private jet chartered, I can connect them to somebody in my network that I know who follows me, make a little bit of commission. Same thing with e-com, same thing with, Shopify, TikTok, even all these big companies. And so there's a lot of potential for me there to generate free cash flow, build my personal brand, get treated better, grow my status and my positioning. And then inevitably, if I do want to create another business in the near future that I know I could leverage my audience to help grow, then that's always going to be there too. It's an asset. It's like almost like having real estate, like your digital real estate, right? Because if I ever want to build something, immediately I have hundreds of thousands of people who might be interested in my pocket. And that's a huge head start. It's so much easier for us to create a business than it is for somebody else who doesn't have a personal brand already.
Yeah, it's even funny because the way I hire people right now, and of course I'm really in the create videos and online world, but I just post a story on my Instagram that I'm looking for an X type of person, for example, looking for a short form video editor. Boom, I get like 40 DMs of short form video editors. I either have them do a test or have them go through an application, and I found the guy. I don't ask for his resume. I don't care if he's working at the grocery store or what his skills are. If the video is looking great, I'm gonna hire you. And if the pricing makes sense, of course. And two, if you wanna be having a bigger chance of being hired by people like me or even just getting clients, you need to start putting your stuff out there because it's gonna increase the possibilities and likelihood of you being hired by high level people. And also, for me now, like the client results that I have and the following that I have made it that I'm able to charge like 3 times more than I used to charge when I just started out. Of course, the service is way better right now as well, but at the beginning when my service was shit and I didn't have a following, it was way harder for me to sell people like a 4 or 5K offer every single month because I had no credibility. And it's like, okay, this is a random guy posting corny gym videos. And yes, I went viral with the gym videos, but I didn't have any credibility whatsoever. And now I changed that. And now it's really like IDN people, I get a reply, I hop on a call, and 80% of the time I close them on the first call. If not, I close them on the second call.
Yeah, and I think, a lot of people just focus on personal brand and content to cash, but really over the past 3-4 years, the number one benefit that I've got from a personal brand is access, right? So when I send a message to somebody, whatever it is that I need, they will respond, because why would they not respond to a profile that has 400,000 followers, could potentially be a good connect, is going to show up at the top of their inbox? And if I extrapolate this out to every aspect of my life, I mean, I probably never would have met my girlfriend if I didn't have a personal brand.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that, she's only going to respond to individuals who have some followers in this status, because it's not the case. But the case is that the algorithm is going to put me at the top of her inbox. So when she opens her inbox, she's going to see the guy with 400,000 followers and not the guy with 5 followers. And I could have been the guy with 5 followers. I could have been just as good as a fit, in that relationship, but I never would have got the access because I didn't post. And so now it's like, when you have this personal brand built up, you need anything in life, you send a message, you're showing up at the top, because that's how the world works. Like, the online world is integrated so much with the physical world that it makes it almost impossible for you not to gain access to people when you have a large personal brand.
Yeah. So what would be the main takeaway of all this, I would say? I think we focused a lot on personal branding. Like, who gives a fuck, bro? People were laughing at me for making corny gym videos. They're not laughing at me now. They're like, oh, how did you do this? So whatever you're doing right now, if you want to start a business, if you just want to do something else than school, grab your fucking phone, post a video on social media, keep doing it every single day for the next 90 days. And then I bet you in 90 days, you will DM me saying, hey, Geert, thank you for saying that, because I completely changed my life, or at least made a beginning of what I always wanted to do. And yes, people are going to hate on you, but like, bro, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy for us to say now after climbing this ladder after a couple of years, but I can put myself back in the shoes of, me at 18 in high school, so afraid to post my first video on YouTube, so afraid to do any of this stuff. But what I can say to that person is that, you just, at a certain point, you just have to do it. You just have to dive in head first. You just have to post that first video. You just have to forget about what other people think, because look, somebody's always going to have something to say. Whether you're broke and you're just starting, they're going to laugh at you. You're successful, they might call you a scam, they might call you this and that. Even Iman and these people who have been around for 7-8 years are facing so much heat because they've grown that much. So it's like, regardless of what position you're in, people are going to talk. That's human nature. They're going to talk shit about you to make themselves feel better. And so when you fully understand that and conceptualize that fact, it's like, people are going to talk shit about you regardless, no matter what position you're in. So it doesn't matter. Do what you want to do with your life. Jump in. And what's funny is you'll probably get made fun of or talked about less if you actually just do it, because we would never, we're both in pretty good shape. We've been gymming for a while. When we go to the gym, we would never make fun of or laugh at a fat guy in the gym. If anything, I'd see a fat guy in the gym and I'd be like, in my head, I probably wouldn't say it to him, but I'd be like, good on you. Like, you're here, you're working, you're taking those first steps to get fit and turn your life around. It's the same thing with business, the same thing with anything in life. You're never going to make fun of a complete noob for starting, because we all know how it feels to be in that position.
Yeah. And I mean, to some point, you can always compare yourself to us, and I compare myself to other guys, but that's the worst thing you can do. Like, you are in your own lane, doing your own shit. It's your own life. And at the end of your life, you're going to die. And nobody knows what happened to you. So I would focus on doing something like this is what I did as well. Focus on something you truly love doing. And I highly suggest and recommend making videos about it as well, because it can just help you. And then just keep doing that, because at the end of the day, I think that's most important. And you can make money with anything. Just pick something you truly love doing.
100%. Comparison truly is the thief of joy. And, it's so hard to not compare yourself to people ahead of you. But I've found the biggest way out of the comparison loop is to step outside of what you're comparing yourself to that person in, and look at what else you have in your life. Because if you're watching this video right now and you're comparing yourself to me and you're thinking, wow, you know, this guy is out here on the Palm in Dubai, he's got a Lamborghini, he's connected with, you know, all these individuals who are successful and able to come and shoot content in the middle of his day while everybody else is working and in school and all this stuff. Well, you also don't see the fact that, you know, for multiple years of my life, my head was down behind my computer when everybody else was out partying, when all of my friends were making a couple $100s a night at their serving jobs, and then we'd go to the bar and, you know, maybe open up a table at the club and do these kinds of things when we're younger. I chose to stay home every single day, every single night, and sacrifice so much of my life. And then, you know, even now I look at guys who are my age, 23, 24, who are worth $50, $100 million, very, very successful. Maybe some of them are posting online. And I'm like, damn, like I wish I was them. But then when I take a step back and I think about it, I'm like, wait a second. No, I don't. You know, I chose my life because this is how I want to live it. You know, I haven't reached those levels of success yet because I've spent a lot of time prioritizing my family and, you know, being around my parents and making sure that I always fly home and I spend all these important events with them, and having a girlfriend and making sure that I spend a good amount of my time daily with her, and having my OG friends and not letting go of them just because I should only be hanging around with people who are successful or making more money than me to get me in those rooms. And if I compare to those people, I'm like, you know what? I don't really want to be like that. I'll get there in time, but they've made a lot more sacrifices than me. And so that's the thing you always have to remember, is that you can't just compare yourself in one aspect, because we as humans, we all want different things. We all prioritize different things. And there's a reason why we're at the level that we're at. And it's likely because we prioritize other things in our life.
Yeah, I agree. Crazy how you said that though. I think it was fire though.
Fire.
Yeah. Bro, we went on.
Yeah.
Good shit. Yeah, we were flowing.
Yes.